Volker, may I ask, this information that you have, I'm working with Terry on different stories, and we're not getting the whole truth in regard to what's going on over there, but I really do want to find out what the actual news is with people who are there.
Two helicopters were shut down there
Okay.
this morning.
Okay.
And as I wrote you, there is no border left. The borders are open, the western borders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely chaos in Ukraine, in the west Ukraine. And I don't know. They want to stage a war, I guess. Yes, of course. Well, let's have a look. I'm here in Germany, and the news media is the same as the news media in the United States. It's full of propaganda, and they don't tell the truth. So we have to find out by Skype or by YouTube or some people. Getting in contact with some people there over there in the Ukraine and try to get the truth. So the media isn't doing its job. We know this, okay? So we have some connections. Maybe you know the eastern part of Germany was once occupied by the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
After World War, and that means that over there in eastern Germany, some people or most people can speak Russian because they learned Russian in school, as we learned English in school.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason of this. Yeah. You know, this is all Germany was occupied and is still occupied, but now by the Western forces, and so they speak some some Russian, and they can connect people from Russia, and they can connect people from the Ukraine. In privacy, in private contacts, and they will try to find out what's going on.
Okay. Okay.
So I got this information about the open borders by East German friend, and he has some connection with Ukraine people and Russian people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what does this open border mean to the Ukraine?
Well, the Ukraine is, by historical view, is an artificial country or an artificial state. This Ukraine was built after World War II by the Russians, by the Soviets, and it was a republic of the Soviet Union, and it was artificial. So there are many different cultures and folks inside this artificial country. There are Polish people and Russian people and so on, Hungarian people, and this is a multicultural country,
okay.
Artificial. So this now it's the Russians are in the east, of course, and in the west there are the Polish and the Hungarians, and so they maybe want to split the country.
Okay. Is this what are the people? I mean, is this what the people on the ground there I mean, that's what we're not understanding or seeing in the United States is we're hearing all this rhetoric about what's going on over there, but we're not hearing what the Ukrainian people want. What do they want?
Well, as I said, it's mixed cultures, and so there are the eastern parts, which more. Wait a minute. Oh,
So we're about to pick your brain to death.
oh.
Well, you kind of explained that Ukraine is basically the west side. You said that it was multicultural. So are you saying that it's basically like a social experiment separate from Russia in regard to multiculturalism?
I think it's like they did in Libya and try to do in Syria and or in Iraq. It's all the same, and these are multicultural countries, and they try to divide the folks, the people there.
And bring on civil war.
Yeah, civil war, and to destabilize all these countries, like Brzezinski in his Grand Chessboard
Yes.
has written.
Okay, you sent me a video earlier today, and because of course I can't speak German, can you kind of translate a little bit what that? I mean, it was showing tanks and stuff moving through. So, what was it? What's the significance of the rest of the video?
There are some videos out on Facebook. I didn't find this on YouTube, but maybe it is on Facebook, showing some military transports through Austria.
Oh.
And maybe you can watch the map. Normally, Austria is a neutral country. Okay, it's got in the NATO, but by some treatments after war by 1955, it has to be neutral.
Right.
But now they are have some military transport through the country. And this is very strange.
Wow.
Not done at all. I mean, this is not a normal activity or anything like that. And this
No.
This appeared to be a huge movement of equipment.
Yes, and I was told that there are some trains running through with all these military equipment, and it's running east. It's running through Austria and then through Hungary, and I guess it's going to the border with the Ukraine.
Okay, now we're hearing that. I think you've probably heard the same story that there's practice drills or whatever they want to call them.
Yes.
There are United States troops showing up in Poland on the Polish border.
Yes.
Okay.
NATO. Yes.
Okay, they're NATO.
Which is, of course, American troops.
They're NATO troops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on there? And the Ukraine has, of course, a border with Poland.
Right.
And there are many Polish people in the Ukraine.
So are you guys seeing like a buildup happening over there?
Yes.
Is that why in the beginning of this conversation you said it's very hot over here?
It's getting hot. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the Cold War getting hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Poland will be the first battlefield.
Wow.
Now what? You
Again, like in the Second World War.
Right.
You sent me a message. You sent me a message, and you said that the Jews have left.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
left where?
the Israelis get some Jews, quote, home to
Uh-huh.
Israel
Well,
from Ukraine.
we
I heard
It,
this. It's a
you're
yes,
rumor, of course. I cannot confirm this, but I heard this rumor.
to get the Jews out of the Ukraine.
Yes.
well, that's interesting because we've noticed a couple of little obscure articles here in North America calling the Jews home as well. And being that they shut down all their consulates, claiming that it was a strike, which is ridiculous.
Lol.
And, that's and closing the consulates and whatnot. We found a couple of obscure Jewish little sites that are calling the Jews home, and they were actually calling them home by what was it, April 25th.
Right. Yes.
So and it's like they were showing pictures of flooding of New York or something like that, and which is interesting to me. It would be a flood of what?
Right.
I mean, a flood doesn't necessarily mean of water. So,
Where it's coming from, this rumor?
Well, this isn't a rumor. This was mainstream media all over the United States.
well, it was
Uh-huh.
That the Jews, all the Jewish consulates or
yeah,
the Jewish embassies.
Yes, the embassies I know because the German government get this function. The German ambassadors get the function of the Israeli ambassadors, and this is I can't believe what's going on here.
Right.
Yes, so and then after that they go on strike, on, quote on strike,
It doesn't make sense.
which is not, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
it's very strange.
So I mean this. Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions because you know me and I do the banking and the monetary stuff. It is my understanding of what's going on or what started all this was the IMF bailout that was offered to the Ukraine. The Ukrainian government, the government of the Ukraine, rejected it from the IMF when they were told about the austerity measures that were going to be put on the Ukrainian people.
Yes.
And so they returned the money, and then Putin came in and said, you know, I'll loan you the money, I'll give you the money to bail you out, and it was actually he was going to make more of a deal to keep running the pipelines through the Ukraine into Eastern or into Europe,
Yes,
the gas lines into Europe, and so the people and the government said, well, we don't want the austerity measures, we want to
Yes.
go with Putin,
yes.
and then what happened?
That was before the coup d'etat.
Yeah, right. And the coup d'état was not run by the people, though.
No,
No, the
of
people.
course.
Okay, so no, I'm just saying this is my understanding of because of everything I've said. Because I'm getting ready to do a big story on this. Okay, so the people didn't want the money from the IMF. They didn't want to turn over their gold. They didn't want to go into the IMF and be under austerity measures like Greece and Spain and Portugal. They wanted, no, we're not going to do the austerity measures. We don't need your IMF money. And then Putin comes in and makes another offer, and the Ukrainian people and the government went with Putin. And then all of a sudden the coup d'etat happens, and then all of a sudden they have this new government placed in there, and this new government signs with the IMF to bring the money in. So
Yes, that's all about it. That's all about.
it's so what is it telling us? This is telling us that it's the global bankers trying to control the economy. I mean, it's. I mean, do I have this wrong, or am I on the right field here?
Yes, of course you're right.
Okay, so that's what the people in your part of Germany and that the western, you're in Western Germany. So anyway, the people over there, that's what they're seeing too. That's what they think.
Here in Germany, the average people, I don't know. There are many people awake and know what's going on, but the masses are still sleeping. Trust the propaganda by the mainstream media, which are controlled by these banksters.
Hmm.
um, I don't know. Of course, many people say, "Oh, it's not okay what the West is doing with the Ukraine and Putin is okay," and but they don't understand what's really going on. They just have a feeling that all what the West is doing is not good, and Putin is okay, and he has
Hmm.
his own interests. Um, but the people are still um, they cannot imagine what it means, what can this what this situation can get out of control and
Really
get
fast.
into a war.
Yeah,
Right.
really fast.
So
So what do another question for you. We have reports and everything that the gold from the Ukraine, what, how do you say, Ukraine or Ukraine?
we say Ukraine,
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Okay,
Ukraine.
so there we've heard that the gold, as soon as the new government was put in place and the IMF loan came in, and I had a report today that $17.5 billion was approved by the IMF for an emergency bailout for the Ukraine. Or I'm not going to try to say it. Um, so the that bailout was approved today. It was approved
Uh-huh.
today to emergency bailout by the IMF. But as a matter of fact, the like 2 weeks ago, maybe you've heard this, and I want your reaction kind of on it. Is that we've heard that the gold from the country of the Ukraine was removed from the country by the United States government.
Right.
Yes, it was
When Carrie,
stolen.
yeah, when
They
Carrie was
always
there.
that's always the first thing the Americans do to steal the gold.
Okay,
Yes.
well, can
That
we not?
that was you can in history you can watch this. This was the first thing in World War I. They stole the gold from Germany
Hmm.
and get it to New York, and later in World War II, the rest of the gold, the German gold, and so on. And in Libya, the same. The first thing they do is to steal the gold
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
every time.
And see, we from what I'm trying to piece together is there were like 13.5 tons of gold taken from the Ukraine, and about 2 or 3 days later, 13 metric tons of gold showed up on the COMEX.
Yes, it did.
Ah,
And
interesting.
not only did it show up on the COMEX, but
It's just a coincidence.
well,
Yeah.
not wait, it's not only a coincidence. No, wait, this is where the key comes in. Is the gold that came into the COMEX was not 99.999% pure,
Nope.
which was the
Oh.
new regulation, set back, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. And
So,
it was at like 94 or 95. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was 94.999% pure gold. It was not the regular standard of gold,
Mhm.
showing that this was older gold
old
coming in
gold.
from somewhere else.
Yeah,
Ah,
old
okay.
gold.
Yeah.
So
So
that
this is
means
the story.
historically they've held it a long time, which would be, something in the sense of either Libya or especially Ukraine, is the fact that it is an old gold and they confiscated it all. But
Yeah.
also on that day, the market in Japan, remember what happened there?
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching. Go ahead, Terry, sorry.
No, no, go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Well, Terry was sitting there watching it, and at the same moment, there was an earthquake in California. The market jumped in China. Was it China or Japan?
It was the Hang Seng. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was. Yeah.
300 and
China.
400 and some points.
Yeah,
instantly.
instantly. I mean, I watched it. No, actually, it was more than that. It was like 700. It went from like, just for an example, it went from like 1420. Let's say it was set at 14. I don't even know what the numbers are, but it was set at like 1420. And then all of a sudden, the screen flashed right, and there was an earthquake right then
Yeah,
because
and
I
it
was getting the feed in.
and it
And then
it
all of a sudden, it went from like 1420 to like 1560 or something. I mean,
Hmm.
it was just blink in a blink of an eye that the stock just it shot up so weird. And then I tried. I mean, God, I didn't screen capture it, but it happened so fast I couldn't capture
but it dropped like a rock in a second too. So it had made
it.
that jump,
Mm.
And then
and
a similar thing happened when this gold came in. This weird gold. Go ahead.
yeah, it had made that huge jump, and then almost instantaneously they corrected it, and it was gone. That's why she missed the screen cap.
Right.
Mm.
It was that fast. And but we were on a conference call at the time it happened, and I was watching it. That's why she knows about it, because
Mhm.
I went, holy shit, you know. And I was watching it happen right before my eyes. I was watching it happen, and then all of a sudden it just completely disappeared,
Hmm.
and
And
it was crazy.
and we can time it exactly to the earthquake in California. It was the strangest thing.
Yeah.
Was it a big earthquake or?
It was, what was it, Terry? Six
I
point, 5 point? They
uh,
downgrade everything here.
yeah, they downgrade everything. We don't even know what the truth is.
Mm.
No, it wasn't a huge one. No, it was a one enough that got the attention of the news media and stuff.
Okay.
So it wasn't a huge one. It was just it was a very significant manipulation of the market, and I witnessed it. I watched it live,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, it within seconds, it was gone and disappeared, and it was like, no, I did not hallucinate that. I
Hmm.
mean, I saw that happen, but I couldn't even screen capture it. It went by that fast.
Yeah.
So, and we're seeing a similar kind of, this thing coming out of Ukraine. See, my opinion, and in the news that I'm getting, is that the people of the Ukraine, like Crimea, okay?
Hmm.
In Crimea, the 96% of the people of Crimea voted to join Russia.
Yes, and they are Russians there.
Yes. And so, you know what? Ever since they voted and the people spoke, it stopped being news.
Yeah.
They stopped talking about it over here. It stopped being the big Crimea issue. Russia's trying to take over Crimea.
Yes, same here.
Yeah. And it's like,
It's in the mainstream media. It's like the Russian get the get by force. They told here in the mainstream media, but the people know, of course, that this is all that this was always a part of Russia. They know this, and the media are lying, and the people know that they are lying. This is very.
right. So is this the same thing with the eastern part of the Ukraine?
Yes.
Okay, so then we've got, because I mean the word also that we're hearing is that I mean Ukraine, the people of the Ukraine or the eastern Ukraine feel, I mean, they are Russians.
Yes.
They are
It's
Russian people. So,
historically, it's part of Russia. So as I told first, it's an artificial country or artificial state.
Hmm.
After all the wars, First World War and Second World War, it's built by treaties, you know.
Hmm.
right.
It's completely artificial, and there the eastern parts belong to Russia, and the western parts belong to the Hungarian Empire before World War One. and parts parts belong to Poland and so on, and this is completely artificial. So they break it up now.
This is a border war that stems back all the way, 100 years.
Yes, more than 100 years.
Yeah. Okay. So
Maybe thousands of years. Yes.
the original part of Russia is, I mean, they're Russians and they want to be part of Russia, and then Western wants to be part of wherever they're from, either Poland or.
If they want, if they really want the Western people of Ukraine, I don't know if they really want this.
Mhm.
I don't know really.
Yeah. So
because they know what the European Union means. Yes, they can view what's going on in Spain and in Italy and in Greece and so on.
Mhm. So they really just, the people don't want part of this European Union. It doesn't matter if they belong to what part they belong to. They don't want to be part of this European Union. This is slavery and debt slavery to the European Union.
So
I think they don't want, but it's hard to confirm this. I don't have so many. I don't have contact, so I'm trying to get contact via the Eastern German people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a development. I have to wait for more information.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask, I'm looking on Google Earth and I see where the Ukraine is and probably around 20 provinces they have. So I see where Poland is and the border. So would you say that it's near Lviv, in that province, that they're going to be, that it's breaking out? Because I look at where Austria is, Vienna and that area. What is moving through Austria towards, from where to where? I see Germany. I see Switzerland, Austria.
Yes.
So is Germany sending
the military equipment from Germany through Austria, through Hungary, to the border, which doesn't really exist anymore, into the Ukraine.
Okay.
Seems so. I don't know.
Okay. So as far as, see, the thing I guess we don't understand here in the States is when you say that there's no border anymore, the border's open, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the significance of that over there?
It's a sign for a break-up. This country, Ukraine, seems to fall into parts. No.
Okay.
And
yes.
The new regime has cannot make any orders at the borders, and so it's absolutely chaos. Yeah, it seems like they want to make chaos, and they have now the chaos.
Okay.
So the military transport is, of course, from Western Germany through Austria and Hungary. Where is this coming from? You have to understand there is about many dozens or hundreds of military bases, American military bases in Western Germany still, because Germany is still occupied. And it's a huge military presence in Western Germany by the United States forces. So they transport all the equipment through Austria and Hungary to the border of Ukraine, or into Ukraine. There it's coming from Western Germany.
So it's coming into like Berehove. I don't know how to say it. Pretty much that way. I see that Makiv, that area coming into Poland. So and that would be through Hungary. And what you're saying basically is the United States is Germany, and what it is a big move right now to try and get the western side of the Ukraine, and the eastern side of the Ukraine is already Russia. So this is a clash between the two big powers of the United States and Russia, in actual fact. Well, what about like Belarus or Poland? Are they not trying to get in there to try and get a piece of Ukraine for themselves, or do you think they will? Do you think like Moldova or
Belarus is Russia. Belarus has the same interest as Russia.
Okay.
It belongs to the Russian Imperium. And Poland, oh God, you have to study the history of Poland. They always try to play a big role in the history of the universe, and so they. That was the reason for World War II. They tried to get some land, and they get help by the English and the French powers. And after all, they were occupied by the Russians. So they were in the Soviet Empire. And now, after the Soviet Union break up, they moved to the other side, to the NATO.
Okay.
And now they are in the NATO and try to get help by the NATO. So it's very strange there.
And
they are always between the powers, of course. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And you can see why when you look at the map that they would be in such a division. And it's interesting to me that Czech Republic and Czechoslovakia, I mean, this is basically what we're going to see happen again on a bigger scale with Ukraine, I believe, is what happened in Czech Republic, right?
Yes.
It'll be separated.
And this also was a it also was a artificial country. Czechoslovakia never existed before. Before World War I, never existed.
So break off countries.
Yes.
Right.
It's always the same. Like in Pakistan and India, Pakistan is an artificial country.
Okay.
It's
See,
all
we don't
set
know
up.
that. We don't, even I'm Canadian, and if you don't know, I'm Canadian, she's American. We don't always get this knowledge really in depth of the history of each of the countries. We get a very basic overview, unless, of course, you go into higher learning in regard to history and that. But all in all, our social concepts, we don't get this information, and I'm really grateful that you're sharing this. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear it from somebody. That's why I always love talking to you. It's very interesting to hear the Europeans' perspective of in the background and the history of what's going on there, what's happened there, so that it gives us a better understanding, because we just have never been told.
Yes, northern America is a new country. History is about 300 years or so.
Yeah.
And the European history is thousands of years old, and many wars and many different cultures going around, and um, first we have to understand this history to know what is going on in the present.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And also because see America, the United States has never seen war in its borders ever.
Well,
And so
civil.
we don't know what it looks like to see these troop movements and to see the conflicts and stuff in the open border. So when you say there's an open border there, we're like, what do you mean? Because we don't understand that.
Mhm.
You know, it's just not in our knowledge. And so it's right. We really appreciate you explaining this to us.
Yes. I wanted to ask you, I mean, do you ever go into Russia? Do you know, do you ever go there, or do you ever have a knowledge of various cities? Like, I was very interested in the city of Astana because that seems to be the seat in Russia, or in that area, I should say, in regard to the New World Order for the European Union.
Where's that at? Kazakhstan or
Where is
Um,
it?
it's just a minute, Astana.
Astana.
Yes. In
Yes.
Kazakhstan?
It's
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan. It's
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. It's this is not Russia. Kazakhstan is not Russia. It belongs to the belonged to the Soviet Empire,
Right.
and after all, it has some relationships, of course, with Russia after breaking up the Soviet Union. But this is not Russia.
Okay.
These are not Russian people. These are
So,
Kazakhian people. Yes.
okay, so which means that what?
Some people call them crypto Jews.
Okay. Gotcha. That's
Uh,
what I wondered. That's exactly what I wondered, because it seems like they're just manipulating the world, and to say something in that regard is, Kazakhstan, all of this is a big part. I don't know if you've seen this video, I Pet Goat, but it's a big pinnacle part of controlling basically Europe, this seat in
yes.
Kazakhstan.
The world.
The world. Yeah, the world.
Yes. You know, the Ashkenazi came from this place.
Right.
You know the term Ashkenazi?
Yes, I do. Yes, it's like they are a offset. They're Jews that aren't Jews.
Yes.
Or they claim to be Jews.
Yes. Yes, you know.
Canaanite. Yes. I kind of have an idea in regard to all of it. But yeah, so these are the ones that are setting up the seat, and they're the players in the grand chessboard. And I'm looking at the map and I'm thinking it seems like their seat is just far enough away yet to control the grand chessboard. It's just a unique perspective.
Yes, they built a new city there in the Astana,
Mhm.
which you can call Satan,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I don't know, for 15 years or so they are building up this country and this city. It's really strange, like a new point for return, a new point for world government.
Right. Right.
It's not in Israel. I guess they want to destroy Israel. They want to get their Armageddon.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, in regard to saying that, Ukraine was kind of a treaty land, would that be basically the same with Israel? Is it actually a nation state in regard to, or like you say Ukraine is it's kind of a pseudo country?
I don't understand this question.
Oh,
Maybe you can explain.
you said that there were treaties made in order to make Ukraine that it's not really a country, right?
Yes,
So would that fall to the same thing with Israel?
yes.
Okay.
Israel, they built up Israel after World War II
Hmm.
in 1948. A state, as a state,
Right.
no? Uh, it was Palestinian territory, and so they built a Jewish state on it
Hmm.
in 1948.
Okay.
This is also artificial.
Yeah,
Right.
it's you made a very key word right there. The very key word is state. It's
Hmm.
a
State,
state,
yes,
not a
it's
country.
just a state, not a country.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Very important. Yeah.
And the state of Israel has no constitution as Germany has. Germany still has no constitution, it has a basic law. And Israel also has only a basic law, not a constitution.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a very big difference.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like an artificial occupied territory. Nothing more. Not a country. Not a place
Landing.
of ground, or not a place of um, uh, I don't know how to explain.
It's not their
It's
land.
like,
You're doing
oh,
a great job explaining.
Awesome. Thank you.
or
Um,
it's like the U.S., the United States. It's not the United States of America.
no,
Right.
The United States is a company in Delaware.
that's
Right.
right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so is the now called Germany, which is not Germany. It's the Federal Republic of Germany, and it's just a state, a company.
Hmm. The
It's the same model as they did in the United States of America,
right.
in the
Uh,
U.S.
I had dropped you a video in there. Let me see. It was. Oh, I'll drop it again. I don't see it there. Um, we had done was we did an article, and it was called. It's basically, it looks like a game, but it's Call of Duty, and it's in regard to these wars are nothing to do with countries or borders or boundaries. They are everything to do with superpowers for hire in regard to the corporations. And these are
Yes,
the governing states of bodies. And when you think that you're going to war for a country, we have no sovereignty or country. We're going to war for corporations.
For the
yes,
banks.
for business, yes,
Yeah, it's a corporation. Yeah, for business. And
every time, yes.
what would you say that the the biggest, I guess, beauty for them to go into the attractive part of the Ukraine? Would it be the resources?
Yes, and I guess there's many reasons. The resources, of course, and to get Russia, to get Russia.
Okay.
Putin is not part of or the NVO,
Hmm.
NWO, and they try to surround Russia to get it back. You know, in the 90s, in the 1990s, this after the Soviet Union break up, there are some things going on in Russia. They robbed the country
Hmm.
by the Western powers,
Right.
Hmm.
and
I know all about that. Trust me.
and Putin pushed back, and now they are trying to get Russia back.
Hmm. Well, Russia is massive, and that's why I thought the city of Astana and Kazakhstan being set up was a good ploy in order to circle them.
Yes,
You know, just yeah, because I mean, even
the grand
Mongolia.
chessboard.
Yeah, the
Every
grand
time
chessboard. Yes.
again, yes, the
Yeah.
Okay,
grand chessboard.
so what are you guys seeing as far as the build? Like I'm talking about on the financial level now. We're seeing this massive buildup with gold moving into China.
Mm.
This massive amount of wealth moving into China. What
Yes.
is your perspective on that?
I don't know what China is about. Some people say the Rothschilds are in. Some people say no, it's not part of the empire. I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, okay,
I really don't know.
okay. Because they have the BRIC nations
Yes,
that are
maybe maybe
building up to build. You know, they're building up to take down the U.S. dollar and the U.S. economy and stuff. Which, you know, us as American citizens, and the people that are awake in the United States. Well, I mean, I can say right now, I am embarrassed, and I totally apologize for my country
Mm.
because they do not represent the people. They don't. They do not represent we the people. We have been
same here.
taken.
Right.
Same in Europe. Look in Spain, in Italy, in Greece. The governments are not representing the people.
I know, but see, the United States has always been represented as a superpower, and we're, you know, and we're sticking our chest out there all over the place in all these countries, and the other countries are starting to look at us, we the people of the United States, as the bad guy. And it's not we the people, because our government is not listening to us.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to tell them, no, get the hell out of Syria. Leave Libya alone. Of Iraq, you've got no business over there. You know, I mean, but our government is not listening to us. We have been totally infiltrated by these global cabal bankers, and they are not they are not the United States. They are not we the people, because
No.
that's not what we the people want.
No.
But
Yes, I
Yeah,
understand. I understand that.
it seems like they're trying to tear down the United States right now as we the people.
Mhm.
And it's not
they sucked you dry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yes. Oh my,
The banksters sucked you dry.
yeah, they have.
It's like a parasite killing his host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
You always say it's a cabal and the banksters. I have another name for this, but I won't tell you.
Well, it's funny
Maybe
because
second-
it's funny because I look at the globe at the northern hemisphere, and I look at the size of Russia. It's massive if you compare it to the United States, even in Canada. And you know, the arrogance of the United States is just so overwhelming. But when you look into it, that, you know, basically now all of these other countries that they've put their bases in, the United States is much bigger than we actually think it is, because it incorporates Germany, you know, various other countries. But, you know, what do you think of Russia? I mean, are they in the best interest of their people, or are they another corporation just in the vested interest of the corporation?
No, I think the Russian people are thinking different. And maybe these are the only people left, and maybe the Chinese and the Indians and some other folks and people, they think different. This is not the Western hemisphere, you know.
Right.
This is they believe in their country.
Yes.
And what do we believe in? Especially the Americans, what they believe in. They believe in money and consuming. And all the Western Hemisphere, the people of the Western Hemisphere, thinking and believing in money and consuming, and nothing more. And the Russians, they have traditions, they have culture, they have their own minds. Maybe this is the only folk and the only people left on the planet which think or believe in its own people.
But I think that comes with not allowing, excuse me, a high amount of multiculturalism to come in, because
Yes.
it destroys a nation. It destroys our sovereignty, it destroys our identity, and Russia hasn't allowed that. And in my own opinion, I respect them for it, and I respect that the people were strong enough to stand up against it. And that's not the case in Canada.
They will stand up. They don't want all this crap here, the Western crap.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
Right.
And we know the goals of the New World Order, to have a multicultural society which has no roots in nothing,
Right.
and all over the globe.
Yeah.
They want the standard people, the one world people, the dumbed down people. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they destroyed every European culture. They try to.
Well, England is
And-
just
and-
destroyed.
Yeah.
England,
And Europe
for
has
instance.
a lot of different cultures, and every culture is very, very important and very necessary.
Yeah.
But if you mix it up, you have nothing left.
Yes.
Right. Well said. Yes.
This is biblical.
Yes. Yes.
You know, Babylon and so on.
Yes.
And
Well,
the powers behind, they destroy all of these cultures, and they get it. They got it.
Yeah.
They got their goal. If we don't stop it now.
We have so little time. There is, I don't know that it could be, because they've done this over such a mass amount of time. We need people to wake up and realize that we need to keep our identity, and just because they want you to accept pedophilia, or they want you to accept homosexuality, or it just absolutely diminishes who we are as a people, because
It's destroying cultures.
it is. And you're bullied. The bullying is not coming from the ordinary man. It's coming from them, and the belief that you should accept this, or you're less than if you don't. And I'm sorry, I don't accept it. I don't accept it.
I don't either.
I don't accept it as a cultural base for my country, and I don't accept it that it's morally or generally acceptable in my eyes. And that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. But, I don't know anybody's orientation, but I don't accept it that it should be pushed on my children in school. And it's being done that here. And I'm sure in Russia, it's not being done there. And I'm sure in Germany, is it being done there? Are your children forced to accept the rainbow solution?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
So it's worldwide. It's everywhere.
It's getting worse every day.
Okay, so also on the same kind of topic, we're being pushed huge in the United States right now to accept Muslim law.
Sharia.
Yes, yes, here.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Is that happening there also?
Yes. Here in Germany, in England.
So,
Yeah.
and why?
In France, everywhere. Yes.
Now
Yeah.
I'm wondering in the kingdom, Central Africa, the Republic, Saudi, are they being told to accept Western law or Israel law, or so why is this
No.
being? Yeah, of course not, right? Because they're one of the grand controllers. But
Yeah, they want to destroy the white race or
it's just it's hard to wrap your mind around how much
whatever
destruction.
you call it. They want to destroy the Christianity. Yes.
Yes.
If you want to know what's going on the earth, just read the Talmud.
The what?
The Talmud. You don't know the
Talmud.
Talmud?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, just read it.
Yeah,
And you know what's going on.
Yep, straight up they're telling you what they're doing to us.
Mm.
Hmm.
And they're again
Kill the strongest of the goyim.
yes. And bring in the weak and manipulate and genetically modify them to be weak.
Yeah.
Is this any different than what the Egyptians did? No.
No.
So everything old is new again, huh?
Again and again.
Yeah, it's a vicious circle. So
Yes, it is.
amazing, amazing chat. Thank you so much for the educational tour.
I thank you.
Yeah, Turkey is sure playing a pinnacle role in they've taken the side of the New World Order, and I know that I think all along around the Caspian Sea they're expecting tremendous war, because I have a friend that works for a company that specializes in bunkers and that, and Turkey pretty much everybody's got one and they're prepared for something really big in Turkey.
Uh-huh.
So, that whole area, it's just going to be
Turkey is
absolute.
always only corrupt. This is only corrupt. They just turn to the power.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where the power is. They just turn to the power, and it's only corruption there.
Yeah.
Like in Romania and Bulgaria and so on. But this is all just corruption, going with the winner.
Yes.
They always choose the part of the winner side.
Oh, what a great conversation. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to have to back out for now, and I really do appreciate that you had the time to take with us and talk to us. Thank you.
It was very nice. Thank you.
All right.
Keep me in touch, okay, with what's going on.
Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much, and
thank
it was a
you.
pleasure to meet you.
See you. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Good night. Good morning.